Hi, baby boomer fans. We are Jackie and Janine, the Pfeiffer sisters, and love to talk about the 1950s, inviting you to reminisce with us as we explore experiences of that decade. Grab your favorite malt or Green River. Make sure you are wide awake and get ready to be inspired about the 1950s. Welcome to the 1950s Fun Chat. Hello, folks. We're so glad that you have joined us again for another wonderful personal nugget of the 1950s. Jackie, what a great guest we have today.
Indeed, they've all been great. So we're very fortunate. So video viewers, I would like to have you take a look at the bottom of the screen. Note www.whilethewindmillwatch.com. Please do go there for lots more information about the 1950s rural life and about the book that you see in the upper corner there. While the Windmill Watched, a slice of rural America in the 1950s. You'll see many different items there, including vendors where you can get the book, where you might see the authors, book signings, vendors. We have over 50 of them. And so there's one near you probably. If not, you can go to NDSU bookstore and they'd be happy to send it to you. But let's get on from there and we'll introduce our guest to you. Now, this man started out as a farmer, as many of our guests have, but however, they have gone to many parts of the world. They have had many different jobs, from farm to DC to a variety of things in between. And so we're going to introduce you to Keith Bjerke today. Keith was born in Northwood, North Dakota, October 2nd, 1939. He grew up on the family farm, attended a one-room country school for 8 years and high school in Northwood for 2 years. And then he spent his last 2 years of high school in Northwest School of Agriculture in Crookston, Minnesota. After high school, he earned a Bachelor of Science degree in animal husbandry from North Dakota State University. Keith and his wife, Marion, owned and operated Spruce Row Farm near Northwood for 25 years. They produced hard red spring wheat, malting barley, sunflowers, soybeans, dry edible beans, corn, alfalfa, and pure red Yorkshire and Duroc SPF hogs. We will learn how his farming career took a huge turn after his farming career. Now, Keith was married to the former Marion McKinnon of Mapleton, North Dakota for 64 years. Marion passed away in March of 2025. They have 3 daughters, Kari, Patricia, Deborah, and 1 son, Christopher, 10 grandchildren, and 8 great-grandchildren. So, Keith, we welcome you to this 1950s Fun Chat.
Thank you. Quite a family. Quite a family.
Yeah. So while you attended that one-room schoolhouse, one of the advantages was being involved in YCL. Now, what is YCL and how did it affect you as a student and beyond in your adult life?
It's kind of amazing. It was a Young Citizens League, they called it. And every week we got a little newspaper that they published. And our teacher would have the various articles in the paper read out loud from one of the students. So kind of took away some of your fear of standing in front of the class and reading an actual article. And that came every week. It was kind of fun.
Keith, I think that so many times in country school, we had the opportunities to learn poise and self-confidence, and just by those little acts of necessity that were required by the teacher.
Yeah, and we had a wonderful teacher.
Good.
For 7 of the 8 years, so that's perfect.
Good. So this YCL, 4-H, FFA, small groups like that gave us the opportunity to be a big fish in a little pond. And then we went to the big pond and we knew how to be a big fish.
Sort of, yes.
Sort of.
It was good.
Okay.
Good.
So Keith, I wanted to expand on the YCL opportunities. You had leadership roles in that organization. And can you tell us if that act back and that organization back in your country school days really helped propel you or gave you more of a warm feeling in your heart for the state, your community, America itself?
Well, I guess it wasn't just the reading of the articles out loud to the class. I had the opportunity to be the county chairman of YCL.
Mm-hmm.
So 52 of us descended on Bismarck for their state convention, and had to get up in front of the legislative assembly, which was made up of all these students, and give a little biographical time back home in less than 5 minutes. I came out of there with a small vinyl 33 1/3 record.
Oh,
Long time gone. I have no idea whatever happened to it.
oh,
But it was kind of fun to have that little record of what you'd had to say that day.
yes. Do you recall anything from that, what you'd spoken?
I do not. I do not recall what I said, but the footsteps, they even recorded the footsteps walking up to the podium. So it was an interesting little record.
Oh, yes, yes.
So while you were attending NDSU, you were a member of a livestock judging team. Now, what is a livestock judging team, and why was that experience beneficial to you?
Probably the most important part of my life, starting with 4-H and high school and then NDSU. First of all, you traveled all over the country. And secondly, you got an appreciation for fine livestock. And once again, learning to stand on your feet and give a set of reasons and explain why you did what you did it really helped set me up for life.
Mm-hmm.
Keith, did you think back then that livestock judging would be a catalyst for what you would do in your future?
Yes, I do. The public speaking part of it, starting, like I say, with grade school, made an impact on my life, and I had an opportunity to use that throughout my life, and I've given hundreds of speeches, and most of them note free, just from the heart, tell them what's going on, and that's worked out very well for me.
If you were on that livestock judging team today, would your ideas about what are the perfect specimens, the perfect phenotype of livestock, would they have been changed versus what you knew in the 50s and 60s?
Have they ever? Lean meat is the byword today, so doesn't matter what species you're looking for. A very muscular animal that has little or no fat on it, and that's much different kind of approach. Some of my early reasons in beef cattle was beefier, blockier, lower set, kind of stuff, and that wouldn't work today.
Yes, but at the time it was great, and I bet you scored high on reasons too.
Yeah, no, I did. That was my strong suit.
I think before, if I recall correctly, in just having visited with you before we started our fun chat, that you had livestock judging experience at a school in Crookston, Minnesota.
That's correct. We had a judging team. Yeah. Okay.
Can you tell us about that, please?
Well, any of us that knew as well that has been involved with judging, you know that it's a competitive sport. First of all, you try out for the team, and some are selected and some are not. And then the team has to work together to put together a set of placings and reasons that take care of winning the contest. Some you win and some you don't, but it was a very competitive and a very worthwhile adventure.
Okay.
So what was the impetus that led you to go from Northwood High School to Crookston, Minnesota?
Kind of a sad story there. The school put on a referendum to consolidate all these country schools, and it didn't pass. And that was a real upsetting factor to the city fathers of Northwood. So they said those damn farmers, didn't want to come to town. So they cut out FFA and VOAG from the high school.
Oh,
And my dad had been a very supportive part of the campaign and really wanted that consolidation. And he got his nose out of joint and said, we're looking someplace else. So he's the one that discovered this high school ag program in Crookston. And I wasn't sure that was a good deal at the time, but it turned out to work out very well for me.
So when you went there, did you rent a room from someone or?
Oh man, they had dormitories.
Is that right?
It was a 6-month high school, which is very unique. So we'd start late in the fall and be done early in the spring. Worked out well for farm kids.
Right.
Sure.
And they had dormitories.
Oh my goodness.
Senior dorm, a junior dorm, freshman dorm, girls dorm. I graduated with 110 students, of which 100 were boys and 10 were girls.
Oh.
So you can about imagine the ratio that was there.
I didn't realize that in that era that there would be that many girls in agriculture.
And they, you had all the subjects. It wasn't just agriculture.
Okay.
But probably more so for boys. I had 3 months of arc welding, 3 months of gas welding, 3 months of mechanics where I took an old John Deere G from the radiator cap to the drawbar and pulled it all apart and put it back together.
What a wonderful
And it was just a wonderful place for a young kid that wanted to go into farming.
Is that school still in operation?
Well, it's a college now.
Oh, okay.
What's it called?
It's the University of Minnesota Crookston.
Oh, okay.
But there were 7 of these vocational high schools in Minnesota. And
that was very forward thinking.
Four of them have closed completely, but the other 3 have taken on junior college and 4-year college missions. So it's good facilities. They've got a beautiful campus and all good.
Was it hard for you to leave home at that age?
Well, it was interesting. I had a car, so I was able to drive over there and then live in the dorm during the week and go home weekends.
So how long did it take you to get home? How many hours?
Oh, not long at all. About 45 minutes.
Oh, perfect.
So it's not just across the river into Minnesota.
Were there many other students in your area, that Northwood area, who wanted the kind of agricultural training that you sought? And what elsewhere?
It's kind of amazing. There weren't any prior to me that went to Crookston. And I came home and bragged about it so much that a half a dozen of my friends and relatives ended up going to Crookston for 4 years. And in fact, one of my cousins was just here last week and he'd been to his 50th class reunion. They kind of sneak up on you. He had a good time over there.
Were you then in FFA over there?
I was not. I was not in FFA because that was eliminated in Northwood. And I stayed in 4-H all through my, high school years. I started as a freshman at NDSU in the 4-H club, and it just wasn't the same for me. So that was the end of my 4-H life.
So then transferring from Crookston to NDSU, tell us about that change.
It was absolutely seamless. I'd completed chemistry and algebra and a lot of math at Northwood. And when I went to Crookston, then I did a lot of farm stuff. We also had, 2 more years of English and 2 more years of chemistry. And so all of the basics were covered. And when I went I had no problem getting into or participating at NDSU.
Good. Jackie.
Yes. So we'll leave our school topics behind and get on to farming. So the diversified list of farm products that is listed here, there is a diversified list in your introduction. So please expand upon at least 3 of them. Tell us about HRS wheat, malting barley, and Duroc SPF hogs.
I was kind of the hog man.
Mhm.
The fellow that I was talking about that took over the farm did a lot of the farm work. We had 2 full-time partners there. One that helped on the hogs and one that helped on the farming part, and that was a great time for us. We had a good time farming and raising our family there.
Mhm.
The edible beans kind of come into being
Mhm.
in our area when I was farming. A lot of early mistakes. They're a crop that you knife out of the ground and put them in a windrow and then pray that you don't get a big rain or a big freeze or a big wind in between. And so a lot of night work, and they were a very successful crop after we learned how to do it.
Keith, where did you market those edible beans?
Well, we had 2 markets right there.
Oh, nice.
Right in Northwood and one right in Hatton. So not a problem at all. Two bean plants in both towns.
So then a lot of farmers started growing them in your area?
Yes, it was
So
times we would go and buy a bred female somewhere that we wanted to have in a genetic base and to take her to the lab, and he would do the surgery and I would pick up the pigs.
So these little piglets were pretty expensive little guys.
They were pretty expensive little guys, but it
so
was amazing the things that you didn't have to do health-wise because you had this isolated herd.
Mhm.
Well, and didn't that would have helped you out with your workload too, because someone else was doing the farrowing.
And so we ended up with about 100 sow herd, and I had a 20 stall farrowing barn, and I would rotate that 5 times a year. So I broke the group down, and each group would farrow twice a year. But then I kind of had the 3 groups, so one of them carried over to the next year. But it was a good operation.
One more question about the hogs. You have a question as a hog question?
Yes.
Okay.
How did you discover?
That was a bit of a knock on them, and people that were buying breeding stock, which is what I ended up as my primary business, was selling breeding stock out of the clean herd, and they were not interested in buying Berkshires. So over time, they kind of withered away, and the Durocs and the Yorks took over.
You talked about taking your pregnant sows to one lab. Did more labs pop up because of the demand for SPF?
Yes, there was Nebraska was the state that kind of started all of this. So there were labs in Nebraska, long ways away. Wells, Minnesota was the closest one, and I developed a really great relationship with the doc there. So we used Wells mostly. There was another one in Iowa that we used periodically if we were bringing stock in from way out east, where Iowa was a shorter stop than Wells. But Wells was our main supplier.
Sure.
Okay.
Yes. Very interesting. Thank you.
Yes. Now, getting back to the HRS hard red spring wheat, tell us about that and the particulars about raising it.
Well, you know that the Red River Valley of the North, they call the breadbasket of the world, and that was wheat. Hard red spring wheat was clearly the mainstay in that operation for many years. It's gone backwards now. And they still eat a lot of bread, but somehow the wheat hasn't kept pace with economics of some of the other crops. So like lots of places in the country, corn and soybeans have really taken off. And now 50% or more of the ground is in corn and soybeans.
Where that North Dakota mill and elevator, is that still Okay,
Still
that's
going?
still an operation.
Yeah, that's still going. The manager that's been there for 30 some years just retired. So
Okay.
it's interesting but they're a good wheat market and make Dakota made flour.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
High protein content there.
High protein and we used to want a lot of gluten.
Mm-hmm.
That was one of the
Yes.
one of the selling points for new wheat varieties. And now, of course, gluten is taboo for all kinds of people. So that's been a part of a problem for the wheat business.
Sure.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. All right. So now we've heard about hard red spring wheat, and we need to hear about the malting barley. Anything more? You did say a bit about it.
Well, malting barley was a big part of our farm, and we had a real good market there, and it always yielded better than spring wheat did. Now, the interesting part about that, it's very particular for the maltsters to buy it, but it also made a really good hog feed. So I would raise
hog feed.
Try to raise only malting barley, but when it didn't meet the grade, then it would go to Mayville, and I would come back with barley pellets from the Star Feeds outfit.
Yes. So when these maltsters, it sounds like okay.
Monsters.
So were they in Minnesota? Were they in the land of sky blue waters, or were they in North Dakota or elsewhere?
Well, they're everywhere, I guess. They would buy the barley, and there was a big plant here in Moorhead. Anheuser-Busch had a big plant. There was another one in Spiritwood, North Dakota, which is right outside of Jamestown. Huge plant. Both of those have just stopped doing business. So I'm not sure the Anheuser-Busch plant here now is up for sale. So if you want to buy an old concrete elevator and turn it into a motel, it'd be a business for you.
Yeah. Be a lot of renovation, I think.
Be a lot of renovation. Yeah.
So we've talked a little bit about your 25 years, and as you think about it, are there one or two highlights of those 25 years in farming that you would like to mention?
Well, a wonderful wife raised our kids. I probably didn't know a meeting I didn't attend, so I was one of those active farmers that traveled a lot. Real active in the National Pork Producers Organization. And so I would, and there every month, I had access to an airplane, which was a godsend. So I'd fly to Des Moines, Iowa, and we'd have our meetings monthly in Des Moines. So when I was gone, Marion was in charge, and the kids turned out pretty well.
Yes, isn't that wonderful?
Yeah, it's really something.
Yep, a great partnership.
A great partnership. Yeah.
So beyond farming, you've had several other careers. Would you like to tell us about those? Please?
Well, in 1989, I was invited by then Secretary of Agriculture Clayton Yider, who I had met back in Nebraska some years ago, and come and head up what was then called ASCS, Agricultural Stabilization and Conservation Service. It's a farm service agency now. That's been changed. But so I spent 4.5 years in Washington with that agency. And I learned a new appreciation for bureaucrats, I guess would be one of my things. We implemented a farm bill in record time because they worked days and nights and weekends and you name it. We were offered some extra budget to bring people in from the state level where there was an awful lot of expertise. But molding a team sometimes takes longer than just working the one you have a little harder. So once we had really stood up and did the job, and we got it all done on time.
Were the days you were there, was that still the days of the soil bank?
Yes, absolutely. In fact, Emmons County, North Dakota, was the first county in the nation that hit the number that you couldn't exceed on number of soil bank acres. Had a real hurt on some of the small towns and you know, suppliers, elevators and fertilizer dealers and what have you. When half of your county disappears, it really makes a difference on your market.
So for those people who have never heard of soil bank, would you please explain that?
Well, it's a conservation program for highly erodible ground where you'd seed it to a permanent cover with a mixture of grass and legumes that would be soil building and not crop producing. So they received a payment. They would bid on, you know, how much they would accept, and some were accepted and some weren't. So after the second year, they pretty well knew what would be accepted. So the bids were pretty consistent after that. But that would started out to be a 5-year program where you would put away your ground and not use it for normal production. And some farmers chose to retire, some chose to, you know, do something else or just put part of the farm in.
Did soil bank emerge into CRP? What is now CRP?
Yes, Conservation Reserve Program. Yes.
Oh, okay. All righty. Was there anything in between those times?
No, I think it was kind of just turned into one and the same.
Okay. All righty. I so remember Dad talking about soil bank.
I do too.
Yep.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Well, you were either for it or you were against it. It's one of those controversial things that, you know, like I say, it had quite an impact on some of the suppliers, and but a nice retirement for people that were ready to do it.
Well, when you're a farmer, at least it's been my experience in many years in farming, that you want to produce. You don't want to be held back.
That's right.
That's who you are, and it's you're competing with the Lord, the weather, all those expenses out there, and you want to be an overcomer and produce this crop that is just a wonderful pat on the back for what you did and put in.
There's nothing as fun as about 6 o'clock at night to take the kids and the wife and get in the car, look at the crops, and then go to Dairy Queen.
Yeah, we weren't the only ones who did that, huh?
Yes. And so
it was just a common occurrence.
Was a Dairy Queen cone a dime back then?
Yeah.
Talk about where's the segue? Okay.
We didn't have GPS on our tractors, so the roads weren't as perfect as they are today.
That's right.
Okay.
You did your best you could, and you
tried.
And you always cleaned up the borders of your field. You mowed them. You never had. I mean, you were on display, especially if you lived near a highway.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't just a highway. Most of our farm was a few miles from home, and my pickup box was full of junk every week that I'd picked up off the ditches and the edges of the field. People from Grand Forks and the air base would drive out and figure we were the dump ground, I guess.
Well, were there ever any dogs or cats that you found that picked up that way?
I never did that, no. I'm sure there were out there.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Personal experiences there. So
yeah.
So anything else you can tell us about your careers? How about moving on, being beyond those years in Washington, D.C.?
Well, right after college, I entered the Marine Corps. So Marion and I were 4 years in the Marines, and then we came home to the farm, and I was still in the Marine Reserve, but I was in Minneapolis, and it was a long trip, and 94 wasn't done then. That's how old I am.
Oh, yes.
you'd take Highway 52 and you know, lots of towns and what have you. Didn't fit in with farming worth a hoot. So a good friend of mine was in the Air National Guard in Fargo, and he kept saying, "You gotta switch over here. You gotta come and join the Air Guard." So finally, I said, "Well, I'll give it a whirl." The thing was, my obligation was over. So as he said, if you don't like it after a year or 6 months or whatever, you can just quit because nothing's going to happen to you. Well, 42 years later, I retired from the Guard.
Finally decided to quit.
I ended up being the Adjutant General for the state, which is the leader of the Guard system, both Air and Army. And that was a great 8 years that I spent in Bismarck doing that. Yeah.
So did you and Marion move to Bismarck then?
Yes. Yeah. I had a beautiful house right there on the main campus of the Guard. And that was a wonderful experience.
Where's that campus located in Bismarck?
It's called Frayne Barracks. It's right on the river.
Oh, okay.
If
I know
you,
that.
the big bridge that goes over the river is just off to the south of it. But Frayne Barracks, I don't know what the acreage would be. Probably 15, 20 acres where the headquarters is. And then there's a big Guard facility on the east end of town that's all brand new. And that's where the bulk of the soldiers are in Bismarck.
Well, being the Adjutant General, Keith, you must have some very interesting stories to tell.
Oh, boy.
Can you think of one off the top of your
Can you
head?
share any of those?
We had the 97 flood when Grand Forks was totally evacuated.
Yes.
And to this day, I just marvel at the fact that we got all those people out of there without a single loss of life. Because that dike overcame and houses started to go underwater in about 15 minutes.
Oh, man.
And so, you know, you rush out the door, you get in your car, and thank God for the air base just west of town. And they took a couple of big hangars, and we had cots set up, and that was kind of our gathering spot. A lot of people would go on from there to family and friends around the country, but we needed to record who they were and where they were going and what's going on, because, you know, the phone was just ringing off the hook. But Grand Forks went through quite an ordeal with that flood. It ended up, the Red River, of course, flows north.
Yes.
And as it was rising in Fargo, we had a cold weekend. So it kind of stopped it here. And then a beautiful sunny day right after, and the Red Lake from Minnesota and the Red River from North Dakota all came together in Grand Forks, and it was just overwhelming.
Yes.
So that was a biggie.
How long did it take for people to get back into their homes?
It was all year, you know, and the danger, you know, power lines and services to your building. We had state electricians come in from all over to help try to restore, and you walk into a house that's had 12 feet of water, it's pretty devastating.
Yes.
Very serious stuff.
How did the schools system survive?
It's amazing. They, of course, initially everybody was gone, but they got it back together. They got it back together.
So, what were your regular, normal,
non-flood
positions? Yes, or did you have? No. Yeah, keep going.
Well, thank God it was before the Iraq War. I didn't lose any soldiers in my term. The next one that took over did, which, you know, the saddest thing of all.
Yes,
we did a lot of training, and had a great both Army and Air units, they worked hard and were ready to go and help.
Mm-hmm.
Keith, was that before canines might have been used in the service?
Oh no, canines that go back to World War II,
Oh, okay.
probably World War I.
Probably one. Yeah.
Right.
We didn't have any canine units in our guard family,
Uh-huh.
but we sure had, a lot of other unique things with helicopters and lots of engineering equipment. We were mainly engineers in the Army side, and built roads and built bridges and did all kinds of things.
Did your farming background aid you in that job?
Oh yes, yeah,
How so?
it did, and well, maybe not the farm as much as the people business. I'd had the opportunity, and we went through that earlier. Growing up with different in front of people opportunities, and then going to Washington and having 40,000 employees kind of tested your mettle.
I bet.
After I got back to Bismarck, why it seemed like it was pretty easy to get in front and get along.
Yes.
Yeah.
I wonder when Marion married you, if she ever anticipated this whirlwind of experiences.
What in the world? Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing. And boy, she never said no,
Never flinched.
She would have stayed in the Marine Corps, I think, if I'd have brought it up. We had a lot of friends there, and I was deployed a lot in the Marine Corps. I spent 5 trips to Vieques. We were down in Cuba, and a long trip in the Mediterranean, so we were all over the Med. But she was left alone, and then we had our first child while we were there.
Mm-hmm.
So we came home with a baby and a dog.
And a dog.
In which order? The dog before the baby?
They were both pretty special.
Yeah, wonderful. Well, this has been a very special time with you, that's for sure.
That is right. Yes. Oh, Keith, we thank you. We thank you that you wanted to share your story with us and the viewers that will be watching this. Thank you so much.
Well, I've had a wonderful life. That's a fact.
Okay. We appreciate it.
You
So
know,
viewers, you're welcome. Viewers, do chime in next week. And before you go, though, you see the subscribe button and the thumbs up button. If you would be so kind as to click those on and tell your friends, even your relatives,
There you go.
about this 1950s fun chat. So until next time, toodaloo.
bye.
Thank you.